work on a group that's looking at special projects here at Facebook. One of the areas that we're really excited about is wearables. We're starting to see a lot of really interesting data being contributed back to the Facebook Open Graph. And most people now, when you look at your feeds, you'll start seeing these Facebook stories getting generated from your Jawbone device or from your Nike Fuel Band or from your Fitbit. And it's the beginnings of something really interesting. We reached out to a number of select developers all over the country and invited them to have about a month and a half to work on a number of different hardware platforms. So we reached out to the likes of Google Glass, Recon, Pebble, Fitbit, Jawbone, and asked them to help contribute devices for the purposes of the hack.
And the grand prize goes to the drum roll. Pigeon!
Our app is called Pigeon.
What was exciting was trying to figure out how do we build a business model around a wearable technology. And the obvious thing with this pair of goggles was to build something that was ski related or was related to some sport. And we're thinking, is there some other industry? Is there something that we could do to disrupt an entire industry? And we thought, yeah, delivery packages. You know, bike couriers could use this app, deliver packages safely from one place to another. And it would be cool from that standpoint, but would also provide an opportunity for people to make money on the side and potentially disrupt the large players in the space.
This is a pet that lives off your Facebook feed.
If a lot of people like a post, you get a really happy pet.
It's definitely inspired by Tamagotchi pets. It becomes less hungry and it graduates between states, going from hungry to bored and eventually happy. And as people interact with things that you post, it'll wink at you or give you a smooch. The pet itself is a Pebble watch. The phone app was more complicated because it's going out to Facebook and figuring out what's changed on your feed and trying to do that in a way which is not power intensive. We have an app screen, we have a desktop screen, and the idea that anything you wear or on your body could be part of our digital landscape, that's exciting.
We built an app called Shake, and the general idea is translating physical connections that you make by shaking hands and translate them into digital connections that are represented online. So friending someone on Facebook and publishing to people on the web that you met them.
We were definitely thinking, in terms of situations in which you're meeting a lot of people all at once. And right after I shake people's hands, I'm always like, okay, I know what they look like, I know where they work, I know what they do, but I can't remember their name, and it becomes harder to connect in the future.
So there are a couple of different types of wearables when you look at it at a high level. There's like the ones which are very much about like fitness data, and the output is more about outcomes. It's about like showing you things that are very processed. And then the Pebble now takes like a much more data-oriented approach where they actually like let you get access to that. And I think the movement is towards providing more of that. That's the main reason we couldn't do it.
It could be the start of something. I mean, it's really exciting to sort of be involved in something like this because wearable devices are relatively new and they're improving very quickly, and it'll be interesting to see where the technology goes and how we'll be able to integrate Venmo as well as other things, as things can continue to progress.
Today's event was great. We actually had just a whole range of interesting ideas. There were the expected ideas around fitness and fitness tracking and quantified self. But what I found really fascinating were there were a number of projects that also extended well outside of that space. So I think this is one of those examples where it's still very early, but we're starting to see some really interesting ideas emerge that, to me, feel like really big businesses as you play this out over the next few years.